The world of Ice and Fire is extensive and complex with diverse races and cultures. From the lonely light to a shade by the shadow, its mythology is full of beliefs, superstitions, prophecies, and dark powers. In this video, we'll explore the different gods and religions of the land. Let's start with the Old Gods, one of the main religions in Westeros. The Old Gods are mostly worshipped in the north by the Northmen and the Wildlings north of the Wall. The presence of the Old Gods can be traced back to the Age of Dawn, when the children of the forest first started worshipping the nameless deities of stream, forest, and stone, and were later followed by the First Men, who came to Westeros through the Arm of Dorne. Weirwoods are considered sacred to the followers of the Old Gods. The Greenseers can see through the eyes of weirwoods with carved faces, and since the tree have no sense of time, the Greenseer can see into the past or present when looking through the eyes of a tree. Weirwoods are used to bear witnesses to important ceremonies such as marriages and oaths, since followers believe that the Old Gods watch through the faces. Moving on to the Iron Islands, we find the Drowned God, known as He Who Dwells Beneath the Waves. The Drowned God is the creator of the seas and father of the Ironborn, who were created in his likeness to raid, rape, carve out the Greenlands, and hold dominion all over the waters of the earth. An ancestral ritual of the Ironborn is to drown their people to bless them, and not all men are successfully revived. The Ironborn believe that when they are far from sea, they become weaker. Their devil is the Storm God, the eternal enemy of the Drowned God, who lives in a cloudy hole and sets storms at sea to destroy the Iron Islanders. The faith of the Seven is the main religion of Westeros, brought by the Andals when they conquer most of the continent except for the north. On the seven-pointed star, the seven aspects of God are explained to spread their will among the people. The seven consist of the maiden, innocence and purity, the warrior, strength and courage, the father, justice, the mother, love and protection, the smith, crafts and labor, the crown, wisdom, and the stranger, the face of death. The High Septon is the head of the faith. A council of the highest-ranking Septons and Septas elect the High Septon. Among those who serve the faith are the Silent Sisters, who prepare the deceased for the grave, Septons and Septas, who perform multiple tasks like holy services, marriages, and forgiving sins, and Holy Brothers and Sisters, who gave up their previous life to serve the Seven. The Sept of Baelor is their main church. In the Kingdom of Dorne, some of the Rhoynar worship the gods from their homeland, which they were forced to leave when the Valyrian Empire conquered the lands of the Rhoyne. Princess Nymeria led the Rhoynar to Dorne, where they worship many river-themed nature gods, including their primary god, Mother Rhoyne, the personification of the Rhoyne River, the biggest river in the world. They also worship a turtle god and a crab god. The Lord of Light, also known as R'hllor, the Heart of Fire, the god of flame and shadow, stands out among the other gods. His subjects are known to have magical powers, like resurrecting and seeing the truth in the fire. Their priests are easily found in the free cities of Essos, and a few of them in Westeros, and wherever they go, they preach. R'hllor, the god of light, heat, and life, and his nemesis, the Great Other, whose name may not be spoken, known as the Lord of Darkness, the Soul of Ice, the god of night and terror, are locked in an eternal struggle over the fate of the world. A struggle that, according to the ancient prophecies, will only end when Azor Ahai, the Messiah, returns, wielding a flaming sword called Lightbringer, the red sword of heroes, and raises dragons from stone. The Red Priests of R'hllor associate fire with life. According to Melisandre, the Lord of Light cherishes innocent and beautiful people, making them the most precious sacrifice. The Red Priests are trained to see visions in the flames of their night fires. These visions could be about the past, the future, or things happening far away from the location of the priests. However, even though they believe their visions are never wrong, they're not always easy to see. In Braavos, the wealthiest and most powerful of the free cities, all gods are honored, and many temples can be found throughout the city. Most are located on the Isle of the Gods, in the center of the city, with the biggest being the Temple of the Moonsingers, who led the original Braavosi to the city in order to escape the Valyrian slave masters. Other notable temples include the Temple of the Lord of Light, the Set Beyond the Sea, where only Westerosi pray, and the House of Black and White, home of the Faceless Men, a religious society of assassins. The followers of Him of Many Faces consider death to be part of the natural order of things and a merciful end to suffering. According to the guild, their god is present in many religions under different names. They claim he's called the Black God in Cohort, the Lion of the Night in GT, and the Stranger in the Faith of the Seven. The House of Black and White has a large sanctuary that contains a pool of black water. Drinking from the fountain leads to a painless death, which is sometimes referred to as the gift of the many-faced god. For a price, the guild will assassinate anyone in their own world. Although the price is always high, they never break their sacred contracts. They are trained to use all their senses to root out deception and create their disguises. Additionally, they possess magical abilities that allow them to change their appearance at will. The Faceless Men take the faces of the dead who come to die in their sanctuary to disguise themselves during assassinations. However, these are more than simple leather masks. When the new face is applied, magic causes the wearer to look exactly like the original person, and the wearer experiences nightmares of the dead person's memories. There are no services or songs of worship within the temple, given that the only thing the many-faced god has to offer is its gift. The Golden Empire of GT, the oldest surviving civilization in the world of Ice and Fire, lies east of Qarth and the Bone Mountains. Two of their major gods are the Lion of the Night and the Maiden Made of Light. According to legend, their child was the first god emperor of GT, the god on Earth. On Grey Morak, the largest island of the known world, the stone cow of Pharos is worshipped. Northwest of Morak, the Dothraki pray to the horse god. The Dothraki believe in the prophecy of the stallion who mounts the world, a leader who will rise to become the most powerful cult ever seen, unite all the Dothraki into a single Khalasar, and ride to the ends of the earth. On the island of Nath, known as the Isle of Butterflies, the Nathith believe in one god, the Lord of Harmony and Source of Creation. They see their butterflies as messengers of their Lord, because all conquerors, slavers, and outsiders who arrive at Nath end up dying of butterfly fever, which the Nathi are immune to. The Unsullied of the slave cities of Essos worship a goddess of their own, whose true name is kept secret among them, though they refer to her as the Lady of Spears, the Bride of Battle, and the Mother of Hosts. The god of the free city of Norvos is also shrouded in mystery. The bearded priests of the city keep the name of their god a secret, only sharing it with other bearded priests. Once they join the faith, they are not permitted to shave or cut their beards, and they are the only Norvoshi permitted to have beards. Old Valyria is one of the greatest mysteries of the known world. At its peak, it was the center of civilization and the greatest city in the world. The Drangolors of Valyria consider all faiths to be unreal, seeing themselves as closer to gods than to other humans. Despite this, they allowed all faiths because they knew that different religions will keep their slaves divided and prevent them from rebelling. There were 14 flames in the Valyrian Peninsula, and it is said that the gods once resided within these great mountains themselves. The slaves of the Freehold were sent to the volcanic mines to retrieve precious metals, but only a few returned, as the mines were extremely hot and full of wyverns and fireworms. Some say that the first faceless man originated there among the suffering slaves who prayed for mercy. He would later give the mercy to both the slaves and the masters. The Valyrians were said to have created dragons through dark blood magic, breeding wyverns with their own people. They perform blood rituals to tame their dragons, which is why their descendants are able to fly them while others who don't share the blood cannot. Whether it was the suffering, the blood magic, or the blood rituals, the gods punished the Dragon Lords. The floating volcanoes of the peninsula erupted simultaneously, killing all the dragons, masters, and slaves. The greatest empire in the world was destroyed in a single day, an event known as the Doom of Valyria. Even centuries later, the peninsula is still considered cursed, and anyone who enters it vanishes. Little is truly known about the deities of the land. Whether the prophecies, dreams, visions, dragons, and beasts are evidence of the existence of gods or a product of an unknown power is up to interpretation.